Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to bring you a very important update on Zilliqa. I see a few very interesting things happening in the technicals. So in this video, I'm going to run through some technical analysis, talk about what I see happening both short term and long term. So folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to notify new uploads because we really appreciate it. And you get to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency analysis. So folks, let's delve into this. There's so much to talk about here. I hardly even know where to begin. So let's try and begin by just kind of explaining what Zilliqa is doing here. That's where you're supposed to be. Okay, so Zilliqa was in a descending triangle. We have broken out bullishly. Okay, great. So what's going to happen now? Well, currently, we've been pumping a lot. We seem to be getting rejection. Folks, I just want to begin by saying I think our next impulse takes us to 14 cents for a few reasons. We have our fib extension level kind of leads up to there. And if we zoom out, I don't know, my voice cracked all of a sudden for 1 second there. So, sorry about that. If we look back at 2018 here, we can see how 14 cents is a very, very price reactive zone. So I think 14 cents is kind of where we can expect to find resistance, go away XRP. And yeah, so 14 cents, kind of our next impulse up. I think the most critical resistance level we need to keep our eye out for in terms of the short term here is 11 cents 5. If and when Zilliqa can get above and hold above 11 cents 5, I think go away is XRP. That's when we get our next impulse to 14 cents. That's where I think Zilliqa is going to go next. Now, in terms of significant support, I think kind of the 100 EMA on the 12-hour is the most significant support level. We can see how we're constantly finding support on the 100 EMA on the 12-hour every time we correct. So that's kind of, I think, like measure of last resort. If we start to fall below and close below the 100 EMA on the 12-hour, I think Zilliqa is no longer short-term bullish. Now, we seem to be getting rejected off these levels, kind of like the 11 cents 5, and also one of our fib levels here. So we might have a pullback here. In terms of support, where I would personally be looking to accumulate, Zilliqa is anywhere from 9 cents to 7 cents. No guarantee we fall back down that low, but we're starting to see long wicks to the upside. So, there is a chance we fall back here. Let's take a look at our indicators to get a sense of direction for Zilliqa here. So let's begin by looking at the daily, get a sense of the macro trend here. So macro trend, bullish, weighted MACD, bullish, stochastic RSI, bullish, regular RSI, bullish. The 12-hour is, can anyone guess it? It's bullish. Let's take a look at the 12 here. 12-hour bullish, ooh, bearish crossover on the stochastic RSI. 6-hour, nope, that's the chart. Let's take a look at the 6-hour indicators. Yeah, bearish crossover, lower highs, MACD ticking down, bearish crossover in the weighted MACD. So 6-hour, we're starting to see some signs of some weakness, which makes sense. Long wicks to the upside. Fib extension resistance level right at 12 cents. 12 cents is going to be critical resistance. I think 11.5 is the thing that we'll be telling for if we take off or not. So let's take a look at the 3-hour. Bearish, look at that, bearish, very bad news, bearish, very no bueno. We're starting to see weakness in the lower hourly time frames. Bearish crossover on the MACD, weighted MACD, stochastic. It's all RSI, make overbought, going back down. Very bearish, very no bueno, very bad news bearish. So to summarize a bit here, macro time frame looks bullish. Price action looks bullish. Although once we get to the hourly time frames, low hourly time frames, we're seeing some weakness. We're seeing we're overextended. We're seeing we might have a pullback here. Long wicks to the upside, getting rejected off resistance. So ultimately, I think, where can we fall back down to? Well, I mean, kind of 10 cents. It makes sense, folks. It's an obvious, psychological resistance level as well. Also, this peak here as well, kind of at the let's be more accurate here. I think kind of 10.05 is where we can fall back down to in terms of our fib level. But as well, I think 10 cents we can also fall back down to. Very good psychological resistance / support area. That's exactly where this previous peak was. So I do think there's a chance we fall back down to 10 cents. That's also where our median line here on the pitchfork falls back down to 10 cents. I think there is a very good chance that we fall back down to 10 cents. Also, look at that wick there. I think 10 cents will act as critical support for Zilliqa. If we start to fall below that, then we can have a conversation of being like kind of no longer short-term bullish. And again, I think there is a chance we fall back down to these levels again. That's always technically possible. But 10 cents is where I would personally be looking to accumulate Zilliqa. If I were so inclined to hold Zilliqa for the long term, that is where I would personally be looking to accumulate. Now, if we fall back down to kind of 10 cents this range, I do think it makes sense that we go for that next leg up. I do think it's just a matter of time. The market is so insanely bullish that we tackle kind of the 14 cent region and then eventually all-time highs. but I think kind of 14 cents is kind of our next major impulse after we're done correcting. Each one of our pitchfork lines here, I think, will act as resistance. If we cannot hold that 10-cent range, I think kind of the 8, 9 cent range will be kind of our next stop. You know, we've got a pitchfork support line mixed with important peaks kind of building up in these levels. This is really where the volume starts to pick up, and then we're starting to get a lot of EMAs move towards this kind of 8, 9 cents direction. So to summarize things a bit here, if I think we have a good chance of falling back down to 10 cents if we continue to see rejection. If we fall back to 10 cents, that is where I would be personally looking to dollar cost average. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. You do you, boo. I'm just some asshole on the internet who likes to rant about lines. And aside from that, if we cannot hold 10 cents, I think we're falling back down to 9 cents. Again, that is where I would dollar cost average. And for those who don't know what dollar cost averaging is, let's say you have $1,000 you want to invest. You don't know whether something's going to go up or down in the short term, but you know over the long term, okay, this has a good chance of continuing to do well. So what do? I have $1,000. Well, I'd personally maybe put like $250 here, $250 at 10 cents, $250 at 9 cents, and so on and so forth. And folks, by the way, no guarantee we fall back down that low. Also, there's no guarantee we reach these price levels. But I do think over the long term, Zilliqa is going to continue to do well because we are in a bull market that's likely to end sometime September, October with Bitcoin. Zilliqa and the altcoins are likely to reach their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. I'm basing that off the fact that Ethereum and the altcoins reached their peak last cycle roughly a month after Bitcoin. So could something similar happen this time around? Wow, XRP really wants it really wants a lot of attention right now, guys. I think XRP is trying to tell us something. So could Zilliqa and the altcoins do something similar this time around? I do think so. Something also to consider. Every single bull cycle, the top altcoins reach their all-time highs and vastly surpass it. So is this the end for Zilliqa? I don't think so. Its all-time high is 23 cents, folks. I think over time, Zilliqa is going to reach its all-time highs and vastly surpass it. So even if we have a little bit of correction here in the short term, I don't think that's anything to be really terrified of. If you're a long-term investor, of course, if you're in the short term, guys, crypto is the most highly volatile asset class in the world. If you're in crypto, expect that your entire portfolio could crash 5, 10, 15, 30% in a day. Expect that because it happens all the time. So that's just something you have to be aware of. If you're in crypto, everyone has their own risk tolerances. You decide what's best for yourself. You decide what your stop loss is. What your time frames are. These videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. My hope in making these videos is that you take the information I give you, you do more research on your own, and you incorporate the points I'm bringing up into your own strategy, your own investing, your own trading plan. Don't just do what I say because I could be wrong. I've only been really right a lot, but who am I to say, right? So folks, listen, if anything interesting further happens with Zilliqa, we will definitely be talking about it on this channel, okay? And in our Discord group, link to join that will be down in the description below. And again, to summarize, I think our next impulse takes us to 14 cents. I've spoken about my support regions as well. Join our Patreon, folks, if you want to get access to our VIP Discord group. They get coins that we're looking at, low cap gems, before anyone else gets to see them, before we talk about it anywhere else. As well, we will also be doing a hardware wallet giveaway. We'll be giving away a hardware wallet randomly to one of the first 100 Patreon members. So make sure you check out our Patreon. Link for that down in the description below. We really appreciate it. It's a great way to support us. We appreciate anyone who supports us in whatever way they can. So, folks, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the button as well. Thank you for watching, folks. Take care.